Center. To accept this call, press or say 5. To refuse this call,
this is
hang
Omar.
up now.
I don't know if you have any questions for Omar.
Future calls, press or say this call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Omar Qazi, the guy who sat in jail for 41 months with no trial, man. You got a unique story, dude. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Preparing for trial. Did you get that order that was emailed to you about the notice to assert the right to the assistance of counsel denied?
Who would it have came from?
Should be from my dad.
Okay, let me look real quick, because I get so many, man, it's easy for me to miss it. I got something I need to share with you, too. But,
okay.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, I do see it now. I don't miss it. Yep, it came in 2 days ago. I must have completely overlooked it. Docket 440. Yep, yes, sir.
Right. Docket 440, court order. No hearing on it. Just, I'm asking for the right to assistance of counsel under the 6th Amendment. Just denied.
Incredible.
And the answer is you have no right to stand by counsel. Wait, hold on. I have a standby counsel. I'm asking for assistance of counsel.
Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty shocking that you might want to let some people know what's going on there.
Yeah.
I mean, that should just shock everyone's conscience right there. Like, it just doesn't even make sense.
I'll read this into YouTube once we're done. I'm glad you brought it to my attention, because I completely missed it in my email. So thank you for bringing it to my attention.
Yeah, no problem. What's going on? What's new?
Well, let me read this to you. So here's some information I got from somebody who's very up on the Demaya thing. Let me put my glasses on so I can read better. He said more courts strike 924C3B. He said, I learned today that the following district courts across the country have found 924C3B unconstitutional in light of Demaya. And then he gives like 6 examples. U.S. versus Mesa, U.S. versus Morrison. He gives all the numbers too if you're interested. U.S. versus Johnson, Tosent versus U.S., Edie and then at the end he says, the drumbeat of defeat for the government continues to grow, leading to our liberty. So he thinks all of this is very encouraging, that 6 different cases, I guess, are, whatever he said, unconstitutional, that 924C3B is unconstitutional.
Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, I know. Well, it just shows that the Supreme Court's sick of the lower courts ignoring what's right and just ignoring people's, these arguments and what's right. They know it, and especially the prosecution, what's so odd to me is I can't believe they won an oral argument and try to say that, that there's no temporal limitation on the Interstate Commerce Clause, or that they also try to say that the possession of French fries, which have once been sold in interstate commerce, affects interstate commerce. Like, wait, really?
That's crazy. I don't I don't even follow. They specifically said French fries.
They specifically said that.
Wow.
I believe it was a 2010. It's U.S. versus Alderman, and they said that during oral argument. It's
okay.
Even in a dissent, the Supreme Court justice was like that's pretty much was saying that's pathetic.
Well, that is crazy. Hey, I do have a question for you too. Now that it came to my mind, I don't want to lose it. We got a lot of people out here discussing this Demaya thing, and we got these I don't know what do you call them? They're like armchair lawyers, and they always stick in their 2 cents and everything. And I'm not an armchair lawyer because I don't know crap about legal stuff. I just I try to repeat what I know if it's helpful. But we got one person saying that Demaya is not retroactive, and there's no way in hell it can help you or anybody else that might have a vague crime of violence. Do you know what would you say to somebody if they said Demaya is not retroactive and it can't help anybody? Does that make sense, or does that?
Well, honestly, I don't know. I'm not going to say I know.
Okay.
If someone's on appeal, though, if someone still had that issue on appeals, I would believe it would apply.
Okay.
Or, you know what I'm saying? But it may be retroactive. I haven't looked into that.
Well, if somebody said, Demalia is all about vagueness, right, in that 924 C3B, and if their crime is considered vague and it occurred 15 years ago, then somebody would argue, well, I'm going to use Demalia to end my appeal, but then another person says, well, it's not retroactive, so I don't know how you're going to use that. I don't know the proper answer, So anyway, we're trying to learn.
I would have to read why he's saying it's not retroactive, but I believe it could be.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't know for sure.
Okay.
But I hope it is.
Me too. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
Right. So, well, it's looking good. Things are coming along, and just keep getting more stuff ready for trial, and it seems like it's going to go good.
Good.
Like I've been saying, they're trying some really dirty stuff, but at the end of the day, when I show all this to a jury, I hope they can see past it. To see the arrogance of the government and what they've been doing, I'm trying to encourage people to come and, probably hold a little rally or protest or whatever in front of the courthouse and possibly have some signs up that say, maybe like a big sign that says like 42 and a half months without a trial. Right to the assistance of counsel denied. Docket 440.
how about I hate the evil bastards. Let our friend go.
That'll work too. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're so wicked. They're so wicked, Omar. Man, they're so bad. They're so evil.
It is. I mean, keeping the public from my hearings alone is insane.
Yeah.
And like a friend told me today, I was talking to a friend named Josh, and he said, back in the day, they'd go with their torches and a noose, and demand answers.
No, you're right. They used to tar. Amen. They used to tar and feather these judges that were kept ruling in the British. Favor, and they would tar and feather them and teach them a lesson, and that would put a stop to that. And that's what I think we should be considering. I don't want to advocate any violence, I'm not, but I'm just saying we need to be out in the street protesting to the point where they can't ignore us anymore. Right.
Well, yeah, they definitely used to tar and feather.
Yeah.
That was would get the point across, for sure.
Yeah. Well, there's so many innocent people in prison, innocent like yourself, 42 and a half months, no trial. I've got people that have been in prison for 35 years that never received a fair trial, and I believe they've been falsely convicted. And this judicial system, it's just so wicked. It's just we got to fix it as an American people,
Yeah, well, like that's the thing, is getting the public's attention and getting everyone together to see what's going on with their neighbors, man. I think it's important, instead of worrying about the Kardashians and football on TV and nothing else, or just their daily lives, and not caring what's happening to your neighbor next door is a horrible thing.
Yeah.
That's not American values at all.
Yep.
So. But now July 30, man, that's that date, and I'll be ready.
Well, as soon as you find out a time, and I guess it's the Las Vegas Federal Courthouse. If I was to explain where people need to go, is that the proper terminology? The Las Vegas Federal Courthouse.
That's it. 333 Las Vegas Boulevard.
333 Las Vegas Boulevard, and you don't have a time yet. I guess it's probably too far out to get a time yet.
I'll probably start in the morning.
Okay.
But you know how that is. That's probably like jury selection and stuff like that.
Oh, right. You got to go through voir dire. You got to go through voir dire and pick all your jury and all that stuff. And you're going to be doing it all by yourself because they won't even let your standby counsel sit by you.
Right.
Wow.
So, they said that'll probably take half a day. So we'll have a jury in by then, and then we'll start going into examination, testimony. It's probably going to be around a 3-day trial.
Are you going to get a chance to play that YouTube video in front of the jury?
Not the one that's actually on YouTube, but I will play that body cam. I will show the officer's cam and some of those videos and pictures that were shown in there.
Okay.
A lot of evidence, a lot of stuff that I didn't put in the YouTube. A lot more damaging stuff on the government and the officers. But I can't just reveal everything at once.
Right. No. Yeah. Yeah. I realize. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. You can't really tell me all your plans because they're listening and they'll make counter plans. So this is like a war. I understand.
Oh, but I trust me. I have a couple aces up my sleeve, and there's a bunch of inconsistencies and misconduct in their case that will unfold. You know.
Good. Good.
Like I said, I think I don't even see it might not even go to trial. You know, looking at the way the stance is right now, but I definitely got them on the ropes. They know it.
Let me ask you.
Like they have no fear.
Have they put in motion in limines already? Have they put in any motion in limines, like rules before the trial starts? You know.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay. All right.
But that's all due, I think, by July 6th, and then we'll go from there.
Are you going to be able to reveal? Are you going to be able to reveal to the jury they've held you for 42 and a half months? Are you going to be able to even state that so that they're aware?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's going to come out.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, because sometimes they'll put in a motion in limine to like prevent you from bringing certain topics up. So I hope they don't try to prevent you from bringing up, you know, really important topics in front of the jury. Because I've seen so many times these dang prosecutors, they want to stop you from, you know, giving your proper defense. So they, you know, they put in these motion in limines to stop you before you even get started.
Yeah, but that's all part of the case. I mean, you know, see, the officers' own policy, they're supposed to be aware of what the court proceedings are going on. Yeah. So for the officer to not know that or to not answer that would be a violation of his own policy. Okay. Of the Metro. So yeah, I mean, well, you know, yeah, there's always ways to get things like that in, and you know, I mean, just the date alone is kind of obvious. You know, 2015 January, I got pulled over. Yeah. That's a while back.
Well, the jury may not be well educated. They may think you've just been running around, you know, free on bond or something up until this point. They need to know that you've been sitting in a jail, you know, suffering in 42 months of incarceration. You know, that it's just insanity. But anyway, another thing I wanted to share with you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I think that's a good reason to have some banners up there.
Yeah, amen.
42 and a half.
Right, I got you. That makes complete sense.
Go ahead, though.
Well, I was going to say, in Schaefer Cox's case and Ed Brown's case and other cases that I'm aware of, they put a motion in limine to stop even any mention of any constitutional argument. And their claim was, this isn't a constitutional court because the Supreme Court decides that, and you can only mention case law. And so just don't let them prevent you from bringing up constitutional arguments, because they do try to do that very often.
Yeah, well, you know, the thing in this case is I'm not even going to go into the Second Amendment, even though we all have that inherent right. But you know, it's more on the factual basis of what happened.
You know what I was thinking more of is not necessarily the Second Amendment, but a fair and speedy trial. You know, or whatever that phrase is. There's a phrase, right, that says you're entitled to speedy trial, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, see, and that's the motion that I filed pre-trial, which were just denied.
I got you.
Yeah, they'll say that's not a matter for the jury. The jury is basically just the facts of what happened in the case, as far as the stop and stuff, the collection of evidence. Okay. But you know, it'll all boil down, and we'll just see what happens. You know. So as of now, though, I'm still concerned that the Supreme Court has not filed my petition. I mailed it June 5th, and still not on the docket.
Oh, wow.
Regarding my detention. So I'm going to wait till I think this Friday, and then I'm going to have to resend it. I have all the proof that I mailed it, and I paid for it, and I went to the right address. So I don't know why they're not docketing my brief, but you know, that's kind of worrisome, you know. Yeah.
Now that was at the Supreme Court level.
Yeah, on the detention ruling.
I see.
The Ninth Circuit and the inbox denied me. So now I did a petition to the Supreme Court, which should have been docketed at least a week ago. Yeah. You know?
Well, I hope they didn't lose it or throw it in the trash or something, you know.
Yeah, which wouldn't surprise me, but hopefully not. Yeah. Hopefully it's just it's in a large pile, and they're gonna add it to the docket.
I hope so.
But yeah, so did Todd call you today?
Yeah, he called us yesterday, and we had a good conversation, and everything's pretty much clear. And I thank you a lot for helping us out there. And tell Todd that we still we still care about him and are praying for him too.
Okay. Yeah, he stays outside on that rec yard, man. He's in that good tan.
You got to make the best of a bad situation. I understand.
He's gonna look charcoal black by the time he gets out. The good guy, man.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah.
It's messed up just in here with me, but he lives right to the side of me, so he gets talking. He gets to hear me snore all night long and day, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness.
But yeah, I like to see when he gets good news because it makes me feel good too.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see him get out the court steps.
Well, they're pushing that BLM Wooten 2, and they say that Wooten 2 is going to be like a firestorm blockbuster to expose a lot of the negative, crazy stuff the government was doing, and we're all looking forward to when that becomes public. So. We'll see what happens there. They say they could try to kill the Wooten. I guess he's some sort of whistleblower in the BLM, so I hope they don't try to kill him.
Yeah, he's like the Edward Snowden.
Yeah.
BLM.
Right.
Well, yeah, and that's why the court should definitely grant the exceptional circumstances on getting a disposition. Getting him deposed.
Right.
Well, we'll see. They might just dismiss the case without having to go through all those hearings, which is probably more likely.
I hope they do. I hope once they get close to you talking about his trial. Yeah. I hope they just dismiss it and let both of you out. I hope that they do that for both of you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, his will probably be before mine. I believe. Well, and what's crazy is I think, like I said, I'm not positive on this. I have to go look back on the record, but I think the calendar call is July 19th for me, and that's the same day of his sentencing.
Oh,
so we
wow!
might be going on the same bus to the courthouse the same day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I really hope he gets out. I hope he gets out before that, but at least by that day.
Hey, you ought to make a deal with him that if he does get out because you've helped him so much, make him promise to stand outside the courthouse with a big old sign that says 42 and a half months, because he'll be out right during that July 30th. So I hope that he can be out and do that.
Honestly, I think Todd wants to just dash as far away as he can from that courthouse.
I would want to get the hell out of Las Vegas.
Run away.
Everything I've heard about Las Vegas, it's got dirty cops, and they're all evil, and they entrap people and set people up with false evidence. You're not the first person we're aware of that we've advocated for in Las Vegas. There's a bunch of dirty cops in Las Vegas.
Man, I know. Well, I kind of learned that Frank Bean was involved with that vice detective regarding those pimping cases or pandering or whatever.
Okay.
Where basically a vice detective was basically a pimp. He was actually pimping the prostitutes that he's supposed to be busting or whatever.
I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, it's a big thing in the news. His name, I believe, is like Chris Baughman or Chris Baughman. Anyways, so yeah, there's a big investigation going on with that, where even those guys that are sitting in jail behind that are probably going to get new trials and their appeals granted. And I believe the detective in my case, his name is Frank Bean, B-I-E-N. I think he's involved with that, but I'm trying to find out all the details.
Okay.
I know he's no longer a detective. I think he's part of. I think he's just like a street cop now, or a sergeant, or something like that.
Oh, I see.
But he's definitely he's been demoted. That's good.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We got a guy.
1 minute remaining.
We got a guy in Missouri who put 2 bullets in my friend's head, tried to kill him, and now he's working as head of the homicide division. I said that's really appropriate because he knows all about homicide because he tried to kill my friend. But these cops, man, they got no respect for him at all.
Yeah, they always get to a higher position after doing misconduct.
Yes, exactly.
Which encourages the cops to do the misconduct.
Yes, that's so true. That's so true.
Horrible. Yeah, actually the cop who pulled me over stole my personal property, and then I file a claim on him with internal affairs, and then he becomes a detective for internal affairs.
He gets promoted. Yeah, the more people he can frame and set up, hey, he'll get promoted, and he'll be the boss of everybody. We're gonna pray for justice for you, Omar. I know we're gonna run out of time here. All right. It's gonna cut us off. Okay. I'm gonna put that file out. I'm gonna upload that file to Year of Jubilee that your dad sent. So we're praying for justice.
Cool.
All right. That was Omar Qazi. He helped the Bundys out, and he claims that dirty cops set him up with firearms in Las Vegas, and I don't doubt it for a minute. If you know the story of Bryce Matthew Quellar, you know how filthy, rotten, reprobate, degenerate all the cops in Las Vegas are. And if you have family members that are cops in Las Vegas, well, I'm sorry, but that's just the facts are the facts.